So let me start off by asking you a question. How do you build muscle? What's the way that we build muscle? How do you build character? How do you build momentum? How do you build respect? How do you create or build opportunity in your life? How do you create a work ethic? And how do you create curiosity? How do you build all of these things? Now, in my opinion, the way that you build muscle is you got to break it down. And through repetition also, Melissa. You have to break down the muscle, and then you give it a break, it repairs, and it builds up stronger. Make sense? So how do you build character? Is you put yourself into an arena where character is going to be tested. You give yourself an opportunity to step up, to overcome the odds. You don't do it by having small goals or no vision. You have a big vision. You create a big vision. When I was 23 approximately, I'd come back from Asia and I had this vision to live a big life, and I heard that they were making a movie in Montreal. So I thought that would be super cool to be around those people and to be on that set. So I thought, what do I do? So I created a vision, and the vision was I was going to somehow get a job on this set. I went down to the set and I applied for a job, and I employed something what I call the ask. And an ask comes when you have a big vision. I want to ask each and every one of you, what decision have you made that you have not acted upon? What decision have you made that you have not acted upon? There's a decision you have made in your life, in your mind, you know, like I had, that I was going to move to Los Angeles, but I hadn't acted upon it. And then I finally pulled the trigger later. What decision is part of your vision that you have not acted upon yet? So I had a vision to be in this movie. I went down to the set and I applied for a job doing anything, and they kicked me off the set. So I went home, and I have a choice. You have a choice to reignite your vision, to feed your vision, to talk about your vision, to give it energy, or to give in to the obstacles that present themselves there. Does that make sense? You build character by putting yourself in the arena and working hard toward that character, toward that result. You don't build character by going, oh, I'd like to be in the movies, try once, and then give up. You don't do it by trying to build a business and then see that there's a change in the law in giving up. If you look at anything from Uber to Airbnb, there's changes in the laws all the time. There's new regulations coming out. There's municipalities fighting. There's people that, cities that have not allowed Uber, and then Uber's had to adapt and adjust. So it's called course correction. I went down a second day and I applied for the job, and this big burly guy, Tim, he says, kick me off. He goes, I told you it's a private set, get out of here. And he kicked me off the set. I went back home and I fed my vision. And I came back again the next day and he kicked me off. Now I have to admit that sometimes having your vision on your own is not enough. If you have a vision that you share with your pod or with other people, pardon me, then you have a chance to ignite or reignite that vision. I remember telling my mentor at the time that they weren't hiring, and he goes, one day, you know, they're going to need somebody. Just keep on showing up. And I'm like, really? Just keep on showing up? He goes, yeah, just keep on showing up. Do you want this? And I said, yes. He says, just keep on showing up. I went down a fourth day and a fifth day, and every day I was getting discouraged, and I was thinking this is a waste of time. But he kept on telling me, because you see, your mentors are comfortable with your future. Your friends are comfortable with your present. Your friend might go, you know what? Don't bother, because they don't want you to feel hurt or discouraged. But how do you build character? How do you build momentum? You build momentum by having rituals and doing your miracle morning and feeding your vision and going into it. How do you build respect? Doing what you say you're going to do and keep on showing up. How do you build opportunities? By solving problems bigger than you. How do you build work ethic? By doing the things that are difficult, the things that other people aren't willing to do. How do you build curiosity? By asking and asking and asking and asking like a young child. And you build momentum, opportunity, curiosity, work ethic, and all of a sudden, your life starts to open up. Things start to come to you. If you listen to the Monday Night Live with Diego, people are sending him business because he does what he says he's going to do, all the way down to reading a book. that was mentioned to him by a mentor. Make sense? Now I'm getting to my 6th day. I'm getting very discouraged. I'm thinking about all the things that might go wrong. That little voice of doubt is creeping up in my mind and is starting to beat on its drum harder and harder and harder. And your vision is the counter opponent of that. Your vision is the voice of moving to where you want to go, of creating what you want to create, of defying the odds. And you got to feed that voice. You got to feed that vision. And whether you use a vision board or whether you have people around you that are telling you that you can do this, you have to find the path to feed that vision. Yes or yes? One more trip down on the 7th day. I remember pulling up in the parking lot, and by this time actually I had come a little bit late because I stopped for a coffee because I was feeling a little bit discouraged and I knew the coffee wasn't going to refuse me or reject me. And I finally pull up and I was like wondering, and I see Tim waving. And he yells out to me, "Rock, you're late. John didn't show up. You're hired." And I got the job on the 7th day. I asked and I pushed through the doubt, the fear, the worry, the trepidation, the thoughts that I wasn't good enough, the thoughts that they didn't want me, the thoughts that everybody else was better than me, that nobody was going to quit, that nobody was not going to show up. But I had this dream to be in the movies, and I got into the set and I started running around picking up boats and dropping off things and doing whatever because I had this work ethic and this hunger. And then one day I was standing there and they said, "We need somebody in the background to sit at this picnic table." And they grabbed me and they threw me in the background. And I was now an extra in the movie. And then another time they were looking for somebody to stand in for one of the actors. And I looked like one of an actor that had a small part. And they grabbed me and they had me stand in to do the lighting. And now I was getting closer to the action, closer to the actors, closer to the directors. And I kept on showing up and kept on showing up. And then I had a scene where I had now gotten excited, so I applied as an extra. And as this extra, they did a call for a scene. And now that the director had seen my face and he'd seen me around, he was more familiar with me. And there was this one scene when this Patrick Dempsey was in the boat, had to pretend he was making love and losing his virginity. And they needed somebody that was going to shake the boat up and down like somebody was making love. But it was cold, it was at night, and nobody wanted to go in the water and shake the boat. I jumped in the water with all my clothes on, and I started shaking the boat, and I go, "How's that?" And they're like, "Wow, perfect." And the producer came to me after and he goes, "Thank you for taking the initiative." About a week or two later, we were doing a scene where they needed somebody to be celebrating in a little coffee shop, school's out, and everybody horsing around, and they needed 2 people kissing. And he goes, "I need 2 people kissing." And he looked around and he goes, "You," and he points to me and some other girl, "Sit in this booth, and as Patrick Dempsey walks around, I want you to be kissing, and I want to see tongue." And I'm like, "Oh my God, are you kidding me?" But you see, funny, rock the boat. So I got the opportunity for that as well. And then at the end of that movie, I got an opportunity to be a director in another movie. And the point being is that if your vision isn't being fed and you're not willing to be vulnerable and share it with other people and tell them what you want to do and have a mentor that's going to support, encourage you, challenge you, or have part of your pod that's going to support, encourage, and challenge you because you're afraid your vision isn't going to come true, you're ripping yourself off. You're giving yourself and selling yourself short on what's possible. It's up to you to shout from the rooftops to the people that are going to support and encourage you, not the dreamers, the haters, and the dream stealers. But for you to shine in your own vision and then feed it in your miracle mornings. Feed it quietly to yourself and then share it with other people. And when you do that, it gives it life, it gives it energy, it gives it possibility. So what's bigger? Your vision or your obstacle? What is bigger? I am going to encourage you to write out your vision for the next 7 days. Write it out clear in an area of your life. And then put yourself into an arena that is going to cause you to step up, to defy the odds, to raise your own personal standards, whether it's asking more often, whether it's going in to see your boss and asking for a raise or an opportunity to lead a meeting or to do something that's going to energize you. Tell people you're going to get up 5 minutes earlier, 15 minutes earlier, half an hour earlier. Living here in Los Angeles, I'm up virtually every morning at 4:30, and after a while you get used to it. It's very possible. So I invite you to feed your vision. It's up to you to fuel the vision and give it life. Now you can ask others to participate in that and to feed it for you and support it. Or you can keep it small. You can play small. And you can keep it secret until you think that you've created it so that you don't look vulnerable and you don't look like you have failed or you haven't made the life that you want. Today's Rise with Rock is about feeding your vision. Now, if you have any questions, go ahead and fire some questions through. I'd love to be able to answer some questions for you on any topic this morning. I just do want to remind you and give you a little bit of recap is that if you're going to build something amazing, an amazing life, it's going to come because you put yourself against the odds, that you defy it. Can't ask for a raise, it's a union job. You can ask for a higher position, you can ask for better routes. You can be the first person to say yes. Ivan, I was a flight attendant when I was 25 approximately. And every time somebody couldn't show up on a flight, I said, call me. And I always said yes. And as I said yes, they gave me more positions, more opportunities. It was noticed by my boss. And I got a raise to purser. And then I went on to become the director of in-flight in a very short period of time. So it just depends on your vision. What's your vision for your opportunities? Where do you want to go? Maybe it's talking to the pilots more. Maybe it's meeting really cool people on the plane and exchanging information with them. Meeting somebody who's a go-getter and, inviting them to be part of M1 and receiving a referral fee from the Growth Partnership Program. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know if I am delayed here or if it's cut off, but it's showing that I have a weak connection. Hopefully I'm coming back. Give me a sign. Am I coming back? Am I coming back? Can you guys hear me? Do you see me? All right. Maybe what you want to do is you want to create more momentum in your life. Maybe you want to be able to be somebody who has got more energy. One of the things I love to do is wake up and immediately go and work out. Because when I do that, my energy seems to set a whole new standard for the rest of the day. How's that going for you? Are you creating that? Think about, again, what Diego said, is show up with a servant heart. Show up to give. If you're showing up to a call like this, or the Monday Night Live, or the pod meeting, or to a meeting in your office, what are you bringing, or are you waiting? What are you bringing, or are you waiting? So, life is about energy. And I've been blessed with this incredible appetite for grabbing life big. I feel very blessed and very honored for that. So that also is a muscle. I really look at our life as, this this mindset piece is about building a muscle. You build muscle by breaking it down. How do you build a strong mindset? Is you challenge your mind. You have calisthenics for your mind. You do incantations. I'm gifted, guided, grateful, powerful, passionate, playful, sexy, sensual, sensitive, right? I'm amazing. I'm awesome. You give yourself an identity. The words that follow I am follow you, and you fuel it and you give it life. Or that little thing called gravity, or doubt, fear, and worry, that mind is always there. It will take over if you do not feed the vision and the possibility. Does that make sense? How do you get clarity? How do you find your vision? Mind changes from hour to hour. It's a great question. A lot of people ask that. And the way you do it simply is, what do I want? You ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want? Think about the life. Think about what gives you pain. Some of the things that have led me to my purposeful life is just having an amazing work ethic. When I was in the movies, I just kept on offering to help, and it led me to new opportunities and gave purpose to my life, purpose to my day. I worked as a busboy in a restaurant, and within 6 months I was 10% owner because I kept on showing up with my work ethic. Each time I did that, it led to a bigger vision and a bigger opportunity. When I was 15 years old, I wanted to be a pilot. So I went tobacco picking for 6 weeks, saved up the money, and then I came back and I took flying lessons, and my pilot was so impressed with my passion and enthusiasm, I bought 10% of that plane, which saved me money. And they were really talking a lot here, I apologize. So your vision can come out of being purposeful in your day-to-day life, Lenny, if that helps you. Just keep on adding value and doors will open. Brad, wow, my vision is a giant monster with a huge appetite that I have starved and not fed good food. My vision is hungry, start feeding. I love it. I'd like to think about getting a vacation Airbnb home at the shore, but I'm concerned about my options. An entrepreneur is getting approved for that advice. Talk to Marcus Jacober in the group, Tara. Talk to Marcus Jacober. He is our resident pro on Airbnb. JD, what are you bringing or are you waiting? Okay, great. What are you bringing? Yeah, bring. Don't wait. I have wanted to hear videos of MLR's affirmations. Yeah, people post your affirmations up here. The live video keeps on pausing. Yes, I'm sorry about that. You'd think that the Wi-Fi would be good in Los Angeles. What do you think of the importance and allocation between ground game work ethic and the air game, delegate and leverage? Well, that's a great question. I think that work ethic is something that will always give you confidence. If you have a very, very good work ethic, you'll feel like you can win wherever you are and what arena you're in, Aaron. As far as delegating and leverage, I've learned for myself personally that comes down to self-worth. How do I feel as a leader? And by the way, vision's a big part of that. Jack Welch said, as he was, I think, running GE, he would say that 50% of his job was to cast the vision, to keep on talking about the vision. And as you talk about the vision, as an example, I do an M1, the vision is to provide an ecosystem that encourages people to take effort toward the vision of their life, surrounded by people that are going to support, encourage, and challenge them. And this has been my vision, and I talk about it every day, and I think about it, and I share it with the team. We're now 33 people that are either adding value, contributing, coaching, or working, or being paid in M1, 33. That's in 3 years. That's an average of hiring one person a month. That didn't come from lack of vision, it came from having a vision and other people being willing to take things on. What I do when it comes to delegation is I try to master the position first, then I train somebody, I mentor them, and then I leave that position. We've just hired 2 people, Ian and Nick, as Rock Thomas certified coaches in the community. So after intensive training and spending lots of time with them, I've delegated and leveraged opportunities for them to connect with tribe members to move them down the line. It came from a vision of wanting to have 10,000 people in 400 people in 250 different cities around the world. So I'm now looking for leaders in each city that can run monthly events to maintain the standards of M1 and be a leader, and to cast a vision and help us cast a vision to change the way people are running their lives. So I like both of them. I think both of them require energy and focus. All right, you can hear me fine. Thank you, Alexandra. Bring it, JD. By the way, we are doing a meetup in Montreal this Saturday from 2 to 5 at my Keller Williams office in Beaconsfield. And we are going to be going over creating your vision, a great way to meet other people in M1 without having to go to an expensive event, costs you absolutely nothing. Steph Wu is going to be helping me organize it. We're going to do a little potluck, so you're going to bring something to nibble on, a snack or what have you, and we're going to hang out for 3 hours. And we're going to learn and share and excite each other to fuel ourselves going forward. So if you're in Montreal, I expect you to be there unless you have a wedding or a funeral. And please invite or bring somebody that you can introduce to me and to the other gang so that we can share and grow and learn. Be a leader, have a vision, say yes, and make it happen no matter what. Consistency is the key. We have to do it every day in order to succeed. Feed our vision every day. That is correct, Carlos. Every day. You feed it, and you feed it with energy and passion and excitement. Words matter. You know, the difference between being enthusiastic and being anxious or being excited and being nervous is a fine line. It really has to do with the intention. Excitement can be, I'm excited to ski down a hill, or fear or anxiety can be, I'm afraid to fall. It's your focus. Focus on having a good time, creating something, building something, learning something. One of the greatest beliefs I have is that there's winning and learning, not winning and losing. And therefore, if I fall, I learn. I don't mind falling. I make mistakes all the time. People will say, oh, you moved to Los Angeles. What if you don't like it? Well, then I'll make a new decision and I'll move somewhere else. But people sit and they wait 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 too long in many times. They get paralysis through analysis. So I invite you to feed your vision, absolutely. Bring value to my real estate team, being the best leader I can be, and leading by example. Anyway, saying yes and shaking up. My vision is to create a real estate team. By the way, JD, 5 years ago, I went back into real estate to open up my Keller Williams office, and I was an agent. And during that period of time, I knocked on doors and went after expires and FSBOs. I sold 65 properties in 9 months, from March 11th to December 31st. Sold 65 properties. I led by taking action, by showing my team what was possible, by getting down in the trenches. It's never too late to do some of the basic things. That's getting into the ground game, Aaron, for a short period of time to demonstrate what is possible. At least that's the strategy I used. Remember, whose experience can I come from? My experience. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong, but that's what's worked for me, and that's what I can share with you. If something works better for you, God bless. Steph says, Brad, we had a movement with M1 affirmations by video. I challenge you to start one and challenge 3 other people to do so. Under 1 minute. No one wants to leave from. I'm not sure what that means, JD. I've got a huge vision, and my role, I feel, is to get others to say, I see, but sometimes I feel so undereducated in the air game and delegating more, trusting others. But I like the idea of mastering the position first. So on that one, I agree with you, Aaron, is give a small piece of the role you've mastered to somebody else. If you're speaking, let them do the introduction. Let them do one little piece. Practice and rehearse with them. Let them answer the phone for you. Let them, get a coffee for you. Give them small little pieces and then use the CSI format. Here's what worked, here's what didn't work, and here's how you make it better. That's what I do. So it's not rocket science. It's really the old way of the apprentice, where the kid sits and watches the shoemaker for hours and hours, and then he lets him sew one thread through until the confidence is built. These awesome announcements here are so exciting. Don't you guys love that? Don't you feel like you're with me right here, right now? Can I have a free job? I want to rock the boat in the water. I'm sure you can. Show up places and offer to work for free. When I started Go Abundance with my other tribe brothers, I worked for free for 6 months. I did everything and anything: interviewing, hiring, setting up web pages, creating content, putting gift packages together, speaking on calls, whatever, for 6 months. Was paid nothing. But after that, they hired me as CEO. So what are you willing to do to get the position you want? How much are you willing to show up and offer and serve? You know, if you show up and you're willing to learn to earn, opportunities will present themselves. I'd love to be an M1 leader in the Philly, South Jersey area. All right, Tara. Well, get in touch with Alex at rockthomas.com, and we'll start the discussion. Aaron Velke, great questions. Wow. Kemi, my vision being running M1 in DC. Yeah, so we're going to go through a training process. You're going to build your leadership skills. You're going to learn your presentation skills. And it's going to be an absolute blast. Here's the vision. 400 people in a city. Now, that's a major city. It's going to take time to build that. It's going to, this is a 5-year vision. But bit by bit, we're gaining momentum. People are coming out of the woodworks. People are just calling us up. We're going to be branding M1, and you're going to start seeing it in social media all over the place. The mission to the whole life millionaire. Step number 1, by the way, is for you to walk the talk and to be somebody that is living the principles in M1. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is for you to be an influencer, to be able to influence other people to look at the opportunity. And then everything else is a skill we can build you with. And those can be built as well. Since I joined M1 2 weeks ago, I have felt this huge uplift of energy, says Heidi, in my life. The support for my vision and goals that I experienced and felt is beyond anything I have ever had in my life. Bam! That's what I'm talking about, Heidi. And this is why M1 is so powerful, is an ecosystem of support, encouragement, and challenge, which proportionately done will cause you to have a better work ethic and cause you to be more curious and cause you to do the things that will build your character, build your momentum, build your vision, and cause you to get more results. That's what it's all about. Melissa bringing 2 potential members on Saturday. Bam! Montreal, especially new ones. PM me if you need anything. I agree. Enjoy the journey. Can't wait to see your face. I just want to thank everybody that's on the call this morning. Over 50 of you again this morning. Keep it up. By the way, if there's somebody that is in your pod or somebody you care about that is not showing up on these Rise with Rocks that you know could be showing up and needs some encouragement or support, tag them, reach out to them, ask them what they liked about Rise with Rock. They weren't there. If you want me to change something on the Rise with Rock, I am open. Give me feedback. How can I make it better? I'm here to serve you, undeniably, every time. AJ Maxwell, be a leader, have a vision, say yes, and make it happen no matter what. Be a winner and a learner. Now that is summing up like 5 different principles we have at M1. Way to go, AJ, that's awesome. And AJ should be leading M1 down in Costa Rica, all of Costa Rica. We should have 50 people down there, AJ. Heidi, amazing, amazing. So happy to hear this. I like leading by example. Yes, Gabby, lead by example. Why don't you create a chapter of M1 in Munich? Give us another reason to go to that beautiful city. It's never too late to show up. I use the ground game to show everyone how to do things and invite them to improve upon themselves. Practice and rehearse. My wife is joining M1 after the Austin event. Mark Crandall is a badass. This guy shows up. He brings guests. He's upped his membership. I mean, I can't wait to meet you, Mark. You've got my attention, buddy. You've got my attention. I'm excited. I want to work with you. Mark might be one of the guys that could lead a chapter, from what I hear. Just pure leadership, pure energy and leadership. She wants to interview 5 women in M1 before. Any volunteers? Beautiful, Mark. I love it. I love it. Mark, I'd love to talk to her. I also recommend Lindsay and Melissa. They're up for it. Yes, yes, yes. You see, look at this. I love my life. Love the overall theme of taking action with support of my pod. I started a 5 call a day challenge and opportunities are unfolding. Year 2 is a new level. Yes, brother, let's do M1 Costa Rica. Yes, let's make it happen. If you guys are interested in learning more about how we're going to do this, We're going to start some calls on leading chapters. We're at the very beginning stage, so we don't have it mastered, but you could be part of it if you want to. You want to come and be a leader and help us grow this. We will be starting that next month. So please reach us at support@rockthomas.com or reach out to Alex at rockthomas.com and let us know you're interested in that process, in that position, and we can start to help build your leadership skills. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, live from Los Angeles Airport, headed to Montreal, then on to Chicago for UPW, then to Estonia to speak at Mind Valley U to over 800 people. Very excited about that. 3 weeks on the road. Can't wait to see you guys during the journey. And I'm going to be reporting a lot more little lives and Instagrams. Love you all. Remember, grab life big, feed your vision, share it with others that are going to support, encourage, and challenge you to step up into it, to defy the odds. And remember this, if you go to the gym and you pick up a small weight, you get a small result. Make your goals big. Make your vision big. And let's hunger to fulfill that vision. I love you guys. Have an amazing day. Beautiful week. Celebrate Independence Day, July 4th. And grab life big. I'll see you on the inside of M1.